Hello friends, all are welcome to the Aviation YouTube channel. Today I am sharing the history of Cebu Pacific. Cebu Pacific is a Philippine low-cost airline based on ground of Mactan Cebu International Airport, Lapu-Lapu City, Metro Cebu, Philippines. Founded in 1988, it is Asia's oldest low-cost airline. It offers scheduled flights to both domestic and international destinations. In 2010, Cebu Pacific became the Philippines' largest airline based on number of passengers flown on domestic and international routes. According to Civil Aeronautics Board data, Cebu Pacific flew 2.45 million total passengers in the first quarter of 2010, nearly 110,000 more than Philippine Air, which carried 2.34 million system-wide during the same period. Cebu Pacific is founded on August 26, 1988. Hubs of Cebu Pacific, Cebu and Manila. Fleet size of Cebu Pacific 51. Subsidiaries of Cebu Pacific, Cebgo and Cebu Pacific Cargo. Destination of Cebu Pacific around the world 62 including subsidiaries. Headquarters of Cebu Pacific Domestic Road, Pasay. Foundation and growth. The airline was established on August 26, 1988 and started operation on March 8, 1996. Republic Act Non. 7151, which grants a legislative franchise to Cebu Air to operate and approved August 13, 1991. Cebu Air was subsequently acquired by J.G. Smith, already owned by John on. Domestic services commenced following the market declaration by the Philippine government. It temporarily closed operation in February 1998 after being grounded by the government due to an accident that killed 104 people, but resumed service later the next month following recertification of its aircraft. Internally started with 24 domestic flights daily among Metro Manila, Metro Cebu, Metro Davao. By the end of 2001, its operation had gone to about 80 daily flights to 18 domestic destinations. In 2000, Cebu Pacific was granted right to operate international flights to regional including Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Thailand, South Korea, Hong Kong, and Guam. International flights were launched on November 22, 2001 with thrice daily service to Hong Kong, and on March 1, 2002, it commenced thrice weekly flight to Seoul. Other regional flights were introduced and subsequently later November, including flights to Singapore from November 6, 2002 to January 2003, and from Manila via Subic to Seoul from December 2002 due in part to affect the Swagger's epidemic. The airline resumed its Manila to Singapore flight on August 31, 2006 and launched its direct flight from Cebu to Singapore on October 23, 2006. The low-cost airline to serve the Cebu sector and in direct competition between Singapore Airlines subsidiary Silk Air CEB was the only Philippine carrier serving the Cebu-Singapore Cebu route for years until Philippine Air resumed its direct service in 2017. The airline operated direct flight from Cebu to Hong Kong, which commenced October 2, 2006, which also made CEB the only Philippine carrier to serve a Cebu-Hong Kong-Cebu route after PAL terminated its direct service is now code sharing with Cathay Pacific for this route. In December 2006, after a month of operation, the new direct flights, Cebu Pacific announced that it would increase the flight frequency of its Cebu-Hong Kong-Cebu from 4 times to 5 times weekly, and Cebu-Singapore Cebu flight from 4 times to 6 weekly effective January 25th, 2007. As of January 2008, its operator Regina flight to Hong Kong, Singapore, Seoul, Incheon, beginning April 6, 2008, from its Cebu hub and Bangkok, Guangzhou, Hong Kong, Jakarta, Beijing, Kuala Lumpur, Macau, Singapore, Taipei, Seoul, Incheon, Shanghai, and Skyman from Manila. Cebu Pacific's plans to be an international flight from the Clark were entirely unsuccessful when the request was denied. Nations involved came to agreement that Cebu Pacific would be only allowed to operate flights from Clark to respective countries' airports. Only Singapore eventually agreed to allow Cebu Pacific to fly scheduled flight from Clark to Singapore. Cebu Pacific now operates a route from Clark to Cebu, Davao, Hong Kong, Macau, Singapore, and Tokyo. Expansion and rebranding. In June 2007, Cebu Pacific announced an order up to 14 brand new ATR-72-500 aircraft with 6 firm order and 8 options. In plan to individually offer flight to Bosque using Bosque Godfredo P. Ramos Airport on November 12, 2007. Cebu Pacific announced Davos Francisco Bonds International Airport as its fourth hub. Cebu Pacific announced that it would individually fly internationally from Davao City to Singapore, Hong Kong, and fly one domestic flight to Ego. Both direct service from Davao to Singapore and Ilio commenced on May 8, 2008, while the service to Hong Kong commenced on May 9. In late 2007, Cebu Pacific announced a plan to launch non-stop flight to the United States West Coast, Houston, Texas, and Chicago, Illinois by mid-2009. On December 2008, 2007, Cebu Pacific announced that it would exercise option on its recent ATR-72-500 turboprop order to increase its frame order to 10. On February 9, 2008, Cebu Pacific Air received its first brand new ATR-72-500, expected to take delivery of another 5 ATRs from March to December 2008. In the initial 2 ATRs fly on routes such as Cebu to Bacolod. Cebu Pacific took or delivery of its 16th brand new 179-seater Airbus A320 aircraft on March 20, 2008. The new aircraft was the support CEBS expanding international and domestic operation, in which including flight to 12th, soon it to be 15 international destination. On May 28, 2008, Cebu Pacific was named as the world #1 airline in terms of growth. The airline was also ranked 5th in Asia for budget airline passengers transport and 23rd in world the airline to use new terminal and 23rd in the world. The airline carried a total of almost 5.5 million passengers in 2007, up to 57.4% from 2006. Only July 2022, 2008, Cebu Pacific was the first airline to use the new Terminal 3 of the Neo Aquino International Airport, with the flight of Kathleen being the first to depart at 05:15 local time on August 1st. It moved internationally operation to the terminal, thus becoming the first airline to have regular international commercial flight from the new terminal. In August 2009, Cebu Pacific became the first airline in Philippines to use social media. The airline created a fan page on Facebook and Twitter. On January 6, 2011, Cebu Pacific flew its its 50 millionth passenger from Manila to Beijing. The airline aimed to reach the 100 million passengers mark in 2015. In June 2011, Cebu Pacific signed a memorandum of understanding for 30 Airbus A320 Neos, including 9 leased, that will help the airline growth development. It will fly to South Asia, including cities in Japan and Indonesia. The deal was finalized in August 2011, with deliveries commencing in 2017. However, due to problem with the part and Whitney engines, the deliveries were delayed. Cebu Pacific is planning to commence internationally long-haul flight to Middle East, the United States, Australia, and some part of Europe using the Airbus A330-300. The first long-haul flight commenced to Dubai, United Arab Emirates on October 17, 2013. Cebu Pacific is also applying for right for a daily service to Auckland and New Zealand. In June 2015, Cebu Pacific revealed its new logo that represents the color of the Philippines and also symbolizes as an evolution of low-cost piano. The airline received its first Airbus A320 printed in the new livery on January 22. 2016, the airline through the subsidiary CEBU launched flight basket patterns from March 27 to October 27, 2018. On August 14th of the same year, the airline commenced the thrice weekly flight to Melbourne, Australia. On June 18th, 2019, during the 2019 Paris show, Cebu Pacific signed a memorandum of understanding for 16 Airbus A330 Neos, 10 A321 XLRs, and 5 A320 Neos. It will become of the few launch carriers of the newly launched A321 XLR. Destination: Cebu Pacific currently flies to 36 domestic destinations and 26 international destinations in 16 countries across the Asia Pacific region. The airline has the most extensive domestic route network in the Philippines. Fleet size: as of September 2022, Cebu Pacific operated an all-Airbus fleet consisting of the following aircraft: Airbus A320-200, Airbus A320neo, Airbus A321-200, Airbus A321neo, Airbus A321 XLR, Airbus A330-300, Airbus A330-900. Thank you for watching my video. Please like, share, subscribe, and please comment below. Thank you.